right off the bat, this movie sucked. I felt this film was such a bore fest. There was a couple of times where I fell asleep and I had to wake myself up to finish the film. Because it really, this movie to me is very uninteresting, very uninspired. Now, today we're talking about Maggie, 2015 film, which stars Arnold Schwarzenegger. And the plot here, real quick, you have this outbreak that turns these people into cannibalistic zombies. And Arnold's daughter in the film, she's infected. Um, and throughout the film, she's in between her transformation, kind of slowly becoming a zombie. And Arnold is caring for his daughter throughout the film, staying by her side. And that's kind of the plot here. It's more of a dramatic zombie film. And, I just did not care about this movie. To me, this film, again, it was very uninteresting, very uninspired, um, lifeless, and boring. Like, how do you make a zombie film boring? I get, okay, if you want to go more of the dramatic route, you know, the opposite of what you would see in a lot of zombie films, but, a lot of the film, the way it's shot, the way it's lit, even the acting is not great. Arnold, I do believe he's capable of doing something dramatic, but this is not it. And apparently he did this for free because he liked the script. He liked the story that much that he did it for free. It's a nothing movie. And I'm not going to spend so much time talking about the film because I don't see the point. I mean, if you're looking for a lot of zombie kills and zombie gore, you're not going to find it here. I mean, maybe one or two zombies get killed. For example, there's a scene in the woods where Arnold finds this, couple of kids and he kills them, but they don't show it. Now, talking about the director here for a second, Henry Hobson. Let's look this guy up. Um, in fact, let's do this. Let's IMDb it. So this director, Henry Hobson, uh, all I, all that I see, according to his filmography, um, so he directed a video game called Mobile Strike, but he's mostly known for doing like title sequences on different projects. For example, Bad Teacher, uh, Hangover Part 2. He was the title designer for that. So he's worked on a lot of designing titles for films. The Thing remake or prequel, whatever you want to call it. In different projects. And to me, he's just not a very good director. Maybe there's a good reason why he hasn't really directed all that much. He's directed some stuff, but stuff I've never heard of. Well, I mentioned Mobile Strike, but what is that? A video game or a game for your iPhone? Halo 5 Guardians? I mean, this guy hasn't really directed much. And maybe there's a good reason for it. That he hasn't directed much. I mean, in terms of, working on designing titles for movies and whatnot, that's more of his thing. Maybe he should just stick to that. Stop directing. Don't direct anymore. Maybe you have an eye for that, but directing wise, to me, your direction here is very, one note and bland. It's very bland directing. And I don't know what to say about this film. Again, it's more of a dramatic film, which, again, I do believe Arnold is, Arnold, He's not known for drama, but I believe he is. I do believe he is capable. But this is not it. This is not the right project. I thought it was very poorly directed. I thought it was very, you know, as far as the execution, the idea, I thought it was very boring. Again, there's a couple of times where I fell asleep. And I'm like, okay, if you want to go for something different, for a zombie film, this, see, I'm kind of getting sleepy-eyed talking about the film. And if people like the film, that's fine. I mean, it gets like a 5.6 in IMDb. And I'm trying to understand why it doesn't warrant a 5.6. I mean, collateral damage gets a 5.5. So this is better than collateral damage? You got to be kidding me. At least in that film, I understand and I rooted for the main character because he was getting revenge. By taking matters into his own hands. Going after the people that killed his family. Here, what really happens throughout this movie? How long is this film? An hour and 35 minutes. And collateral damage, Arnold's characters, he does more in that film than in this film. End of Days gets a 5.8 in IMDb. And this gets a 5.6. Sadly, I'd rather watch Junior more. Then that gets a 4.7. Now, if you were to ask me, would I rather watch Sabotage or this film? I would probably lean towards Sabotage more because even as bad and forgettable as that film is, there's more going on. I recognize some of the actors, David Ayer, compared to this guy is a better director because at least I like Street Kings. At least I like End of Watch. I want to check out Bright someday. I want to check out Fury someday. So yeah, I'd rather watch Sabotage more. I would say, out of Arnold's filmography, I would say this is the most boring film. And it really accomplished nothing. And again, like I said, I know I've said this already, but, Arnold, I would like to see Arnold take on a dramatic role, but this film here was just not it. And Arnold liked the story so much that, he did it for nothing. Even, throughout the film, there's not a lot of dialogue. I don't know, was it because of that? That Arnold looked at the script and he's like, oh, there's not much dialogue, I'll do it. There's no memorable dialogue. There's no memorable scenes. One at the end, his daughter walks off the roof because now she's become a zombie. She's going to kill herself. And the film ends. So you have a depressing ending to a boring film. But yeah, so I don't know what more I can say here. I did not care about this movie. You see, at the end of the day, it's forgettable. It's a forgettable movie on top of being boring and uninspired. It's like it tries so hard to be, like we want to try to go after the Oscar or something. I swear. It tries so hard to be, like Oscar bait and fails. So, yeah, I mean, if I want to watch zombie movies, I'd rather watch Dawn of the Dead, Dead Alive. And I'm not saying that, all the time I need gore and zombie kills and, big. Like, I don't mind a good story, but this is not a good story. It's not a well-told story. It's a poorly handled, poorly directed, uninspired story. with very monotone directing. And I don't know who wrote the script here. Let me see. John Scott 3. Whatever kind of name is that. And there's a reason why he hasn't really worked on much. Well, 3 strikes, you're out. You know, so... I mean, the cast, I mean, Abigail Breslin, technically, if you want to talk about the acting for a second, you know, technically she's not bad. Julie Richardson, she's in the film. Technically, she's not bad. You know, like Sabotage, I do feel that Arnold's a bit off here because I don't think the story is the best. So it doesn't help Arnold bring much to his performance. The pacing, again, I thought the pacing was a drag, and it just kept plodding along. And, you know, at times the film just came off a bit too monotone, a bit too, you know, one note. But anyways, I'll just wrap it up here. Yeah, so it's not Sabotage. See, I'm getting movies mixed up now. Maggie. You know, to me, you can skip this movie. So, yeah, I did not care for Maggie. But up next, we're going to have a lot of fun because we're going to talk about Terminator Genesis. Oh, damn. Yeah, can't wait to talk about that. Terminator Genesis is next. But thank you for watching and have a good day.